Alright, I wanted to do a series of some videos for beginner guitar players that are essential chords. If you're learning guitar, there's a few chord pairs, like two chords that go together, that if you learn them, it speeds up your progress a ton. So here are a few of them. The first one is C major to A minor. This happens so much on the guitar that you really want to master this if you're a beginner. So C major, in case you don't know it, it's third finger right there, third fret on the A string, middle finger on 2 on D, open. Then first finger up here. If you're a total beginner, you should probably get a teacher to sort of walk you through these basic chords because they can be hard, but I put my thumb up here when I'm playing C most of the time. In case I hit it, I don't want to hear that string, but I'm going to do it from here. So what you want to do is strum C major, and then keep your fingers down except lift your third finger up and move it above your middle finger onto the G string. And that's A minor. So this should become so easy that you can just do this all day and not think about it. And make sure these fingers are firm and they stay down. That's A minor C. And I would do, like, when I practice stuff like this, I do at least 4 strums or maybe 8 strums. This is the first chord pair, C major to A minor. And then once you can do that, then you want to hit the bass note so that you know where the bass note is supposed to be. So for both of these chords, it's going to be on the A string. So you go like this. And then you switch. Because for every chord you learn, you want to know what the lowest note is supposed to be. And sometimes you might change it, like you could strum C from a higher string. Or A minor. But when you're doing that, that's a pretty significant thing that you're doing when you change the bass note. So you want to be aware of where the bass note is. So the bass note here for C chord is, this note is C. When you switch to A minor, the note is A. So I'm hitting C in the bass, then I'm hitting A in the bass. So both of these should be super easy. 4 strums or 8 strums, A minor, 4 strums or 8 strums. And then bass, strum, bass, strum. One little note about technique, it's sometimes easier when you're picking. If you hit the bass and then you just let it rest on the next string. So it's like my pick is going through. If I put the pick up here, maybe you can see it better. Then it stops on that string, and then I strum. So instead of lifting it up and then having to find the next string again, you just let it go through and hit and rest there, and then you strum. Because then you don't have to look at this hand. That becomes a really important technique as you get better at the guitar. So the other pair of chords that's super essential to master is G to E minor. And a lot of people learn this type of G to start, which is okay, but really you want to learn this type, mainly because it's harder, and it's harder if you learn this to learn this. So also there is a difference in the sound. This type of G has the third fret on the B string, this one doesn't. So the more you play guitar, you'll actually start to kind of associate different sorts of sounds with these two types of G chords. To me, I prefer this one. It just sounds more flexible in terms of the tone. This one's kind of, it's more full and a little bit stronger, which can be a good thing if you want sort of a little bit more of a stronger sound in your chord progression. But this one just tends to be more useful. And also when you switch to C chord from G, or if you want to do stuff like that, it's a little easier than having to go. So anyways, you want to do it with this type of G. So you put your third finger here, third fret, middle finger on 2, and your pinky has to go up on third fret. So a lot of beginners, their finger will go like that. What you have to do is bring your thumb up so that this pinky curls up like that. You don't want your pinky out like that because then it starts to break. So you want to keep it curled up, and the way to do that To keep your pinky curled up is to bring your thumb up a little bit. So G major, make sure this finger's not touching anything. 4 strums. And then to go to E minor is really easy. You keep your middle finger down, lift your third finger up, and you put your ring finger right there on the 2nd fret. And you strum all the strings. So G, E minor, so you lift everything up except for middle finger, and then put your 3rd finger right there. Also try to get as close to the fret, not on top of it, but just next to it as possible. G, E minor, G, E minor. And once you can do that, you want to do the same thing again with the bass notes. So the bass note of a G chord is G when you're hitting there on the low E string, then E. So that pair of chords is G, E minor. One last pair of chords I think is important to learn. There's a lot of other ones, but another one is A major to E major. And the reason why I would also mention this one, it's not quite as important as the other ones. I mean, they're all important chords, but in terms of just getting better at guitar right away. But I see a lot of people play A major like this. And it's okay, but most people's fingers are too big to make this practical. Also, if you do this exercise from A to E major and get really good at it, you'll notice it's way faster to keep your fingers like this. Whereas this way, watch how much I have to move. Also, it doesn't sound as good because you can't cram all your fingers on there. Whereas this is using the pinky, so your fingers can be a lot closer together. So A major is from the A string, so you don't want to hit this one. A, this is the root note, the bass note, and then 2, 2, 2, and then open. So 4 strums. Then E major, you have to change all your fingers, but I'm going to show you a trick. Middle finger, 3rd finger, 1st finger. So that's 0, 2, 2, 1, 0, 0. 1, 0, 0, 0, 2, 2, 1, 0, 0. So here's the trick, is this finger is free, and it's not doing anything right now, but it's getting ready to go on the 1st fret. So some of my students hold it down right away. I never do that when I'm actually playing, because then my whole hand feels too constricted. But it's just ready to go right there. So 4 strums, then I put it down right as I'm changing, and these fingers just move a tiny bit. Then these fingers move up, my 1st finger relaxes, my pinky goes down. So this is kind of a good coordination builder. And then once you can do that, then you want to hit the bass note, so A for the A chord, then E, the low E for the E major. So the pairs of chords I went through are C major, A minor, and if you master these pairs, it just speeds up your progress learning guitar really a lot faster. So C major, A minor, and then you do it with the bass. And then G major, E minor, and do it with the bass. A major, E major. And with the bass. And it would be a good exercise to try to go through all of them. It would sound a little weird, but you could go. So they're not in the same key, but it would just be a good practice to do this. Loop through all of them, but they're not in the same key, so they're not going to sound that great together. But that's it. So good luck. Bye.